Sheila, Serious and Silly, Season 2. Let's do this. We need an intro. Intro. Intro.
Intro? Intro? That wasn't good. That wasn't good. That wasn't good.
Let's just start the show.
Here we go, Sheila. Big guest today. I don't know, the big guests just keep pouring in. But first, Sheila, I want to bring you back to 1993. I was working in my uncle's printing place, and I had a big decision to make because I was working evenings at the time. And the Canadians had made the Stanley Cup final, and my boss, he didn't want to let me change shifts. So basically, we decided to part ways. So that I could watch the Stanley Cup final. And this man below us was the reason our team was in the Stanley Cup finals. He's the Stanley Cup champion. He put up 48 points in 75 games, 12 points in the playoffs. At just 22 years old, the 93 Stanley Cup champions. For our students, remember 1993 when we used to win Stanley Cups. Mr. Gilbert Dionne, welcome to Serious and Silly. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Scott, and hi, Sheila. This is a great opportunity, and thank you so much for reaching out, especially during this difficult time of our lives through COVID and all these Zoom meetings and all that stuff's happening. I'm very happy to be at home right now and having a chat with you all tonight.
By the way, Sheila and Gilbert, I told my mom I got laid off, so if she's watching this, she's hearing this story for the first time that I actually quit my job to watch the Stanley Cup.
I'm sure she's going to be completely fine with that, Scotty. Don't worry about it. So thank you again. Honestly, we really do appreciate you taking the time with us and for our students. So I'm going to just jump right into it. We have a lot of students that are actually Francophone. Their primary language is French, and they're studying in English for the first time at Champlain Saint-Lambert. So it's a really nerve-wracking experience for them. It takes a lot of courage to be able to study in a different language. And we know that you came from Drummondville, and you decided to play junior B hockey in Niagara Falls. So we wanted to know, how was that experience for you in terms of like the language component, and what kind of words of encouragement would you provide to those students who are creating a new journey for themselves in a different language?
So first of all, yes, I left Quebec, not necessarily due to go play some hockey, but for all the kids to listen right now, my older brother, Marcel Dionne, had an 18 and 19-year career. We're 19 years apart, and Marcel did make the step to move from Drummondville, play his junior hockey in Montreal, and then moved to Ontario to play his junior hockey in St. Catharines in the early 70s. So when he came back to visit during his hockey career in our cottage in Drummondville, he looked at me, I was about 15, he says, you know, Gilbert, like, would you like to play some hockey? You like playing hockey? I looked at him and I said, you know what, Marcel, I want to learn English. And then he looked at me and goes, you know what, you're ready. I think you're mature enough to make the step. And obviously I wanted to play hockey, but I was so little upset that when Marcel used to come and when he was playing for the LA Kings would come to Montreal, play against the Canadians, play against the Nordiques, I would go and visit him after each hockey game, and I could not speak English to the hockey players, to the coaching staff, to the security around the team. And I would just sit there and I was kind of really like upset, I'm just going like, how can I not speak this language? And I'm just sitting here and I want to spend a little bit of time with my brother that I have probably an hour in a year that I would see him, and I could not speak. So it really gave me that drive to decide to make that leap. And obviously hockey did help me to just hockey. You don't need to speak English, Chinese, French, or whatever. Once you get a hockey stick and a puck in your hand and you're on the ice, the language is universal, right? Pass me the puck and go to the net, right? You guys understand what I mean, right? So, but like I said to the students, I make that move and I've really focused on, and I was fortunate that I ended up going to a French immersion school in Welland. And that kind of helped me than not being so scared of the language and what's happening out there. So I have to definitely let everyone know that I've learned this English language on the street, like you say, like in the dressing room talk, going somewhere that you're sick and tired of ordering the same food and realize, you know what, I have to have the guts in. I really want to eat something I want to eat. Enough of the French toast. I want some bacon and eggs over easy. And that's what happened, right? You just really have to have the guts and to dare yourself, to all the students out there, Don't be shy. Don't be afraid to speak the language. People will understand. And if they don't, you just like be proud to say, guess what? I'm learning 2 languages, maybe 3, maybe 4, and that is too bad. But 100% of the time, people do appreciate, regardless if the word is right or not right, they will understand and just keep on pushing forward.
Oh, that's amazing. Definitely words of encouragement for sure for our students that are a little bit nervous. So thank you so much for explaining that.
Yes, no, it's no problem. And like I said, like there's sometimes I still work so hard to trying to learn where the English, the language is, the right verb or not the right verb. Or at the end of the day, you know what? So what? You have to express yourself, use your hands, do what to do. People will understand where you're getting at, even if it's a verb, in the past, present, or whatever. English is a very, very tricky language to learn. But it's a international word, right? It's a language. Anywhere in the world, you can use your English words and learn from there and go somewhere and travel all over the world and not to be afraid and shy to speak.
Mhm.
And I think I read in an interview that you did that you learned the swear words first. Is that correct?
Yes, I sure did. But I think all those words in the dressing room would have to stay in the dressing room at
Yes.
this moment. But all around it's all good. And like I said, I have 5 kids at home, and my 21-year-old daughter, believe it or not, she's fully fluent English, but she's learning French to be a French teacher, and her French is 100% more better than mine. By learning at school and having confidence again for herself to go out there and express herself. You shy, you're not shy. You just got to give yourself a little bit of push, and everything just flows, like water, right?
Amazing words of encouragement. Thank you so much. So I wanted to also ask you, you were drafted in the 19th round by the Kitchener Rangers and the 4th round by the Canadians. So a lot of students, we have a lot of student athletes, but we have a lot of students that think just because they aren't the first pick, they won't be able to reach their goal. So how did you use that experience to motivate you to reach your goal and to make it into the NHL?
So at the end of the day, you're right. So it took us, I went to the draft here. Usually the draft starts at 9 a.m. and you expect sometimes with the scouting report that you'll be coming up around maybe 5th round, 6th round. In my junior years, I said, okay, I'll go to the draft. I brought some family members with me to Toronto, and 9 o'clock shows up. And at the end of the day, it's 5 p.m. and I get drafted for the Kitchener Rangers. Realized in them, they're like, wow, you showed up and everything. Well, I said, it's a dream, right? It's a dream come true for an athlete. But at the end, it's always believe in yourself. Like regardless, if you give it your best, even though you have the name or not the name, your first round, not round, you have something in yourself that maybe the other athlete that's better than you doesn't have. And that's what you have to develop. So I was not a very fast skater. I was not really overly aggressive, but I had a great shot and a nick for the play of hockey. So that's what happened for all the athletes. I think sometimes you seriously have to not listen what the medias are telling you. Whatever you watch on TV with the NFL, NHL, NBA, let's not forget, every time we hear and see those number 1 athletes becoming Hall of Fames or super athletes, it's the one that come from the ghettos to middle of nowhere and accomplish something in their career. So let's not forget to always believe in yourself. And for sure as an athlete, you're well surrounded with your parents, your family members, your friends. They're all pushing the same way and direction that you were trying to accomplish something. So forget the draft, forget the money. If you love the sports, it will happen.
Perfect.
Excellent. So people were asking me, like I said, our students were born in around the year 2000 to 2003. They were asking me today and a few days ago, what's Gilbert Dionne like? And I've said, for me, you were one of my favorite players because we hadn't seen a player like you before. You were talking about self-confidence, and you had a little bit of a PK Subban-like swagger to you growing up. Would you say that, sir?
Absolutely. PK had some swagger to mine, right?
Yes.
He's younger than me. So, I really looked up to when PK came to Montreal, and they were pretty hard on him. He's flamboyant. I was easygoing. I wanted to get the dressing room going. And PK had way more talent. He still does have way more talent than I am. But sometimes in sports and with all the media, like I said, again, I'm repeating myself a little bit. So many cameras now, and the 2000s and era. There's websites. You have your phones with you, your iPhones, and people are watching. You have Instagram to follow. Back in the old days, all we had is to show up in the arena, kiss your wife and kids, good night at home, and I'll see you at the game after. And we focus on each other in the dressing room and not sharing whatever we were doing in that dressing room. And sometimes it would leak through the media, but that's normal. We figured our things out. But with this new hockey in the era, it seems like the cameras inside the dressing room. Everybody wants to know what's happening. And you know what? At the end of the day, I find that little, how can I say, just, I don't really like it. I already felt the hockey dressing room or the volleyball dressing room, the gym at the school, it should be sacred. It's your spot. It's your thing to let out. I used to be a big Elvis Presley fan, and I used to sing and for the boys. And guess what? If I was annoyed, they would tell me, stop it. But when you have a Patrick Waugh, this is a Hockey Hall of Fame goaltender. For those kids who don't know Patrick Waugh is the one that would a best goalie in the world, and he would look at me and says, "Hey, are you going to do some Elvis tonight or what?" And this is a game, an important game against the Boston Bruins to win this, to move on to the next series. Why not, right? So that's why I feel that PK was doing an excellent job in Montreal, but he probably went a little bit overwhelmed because of the media, the pressure of today's hockey. Maybe that too many of us want to see what's going on inside, and it hurt him a little bit. But you know what? I'm a big fan of PK, and I wish him well. He's going to be doing so well with, whatever he's going to do next. He's done some shows. He's done some live Zoom and all that stuff. I wish him nothing but the best, and I'm glad he's got a little bit of me in him.
Exactly. That's what I meant to say. Sorry for making that error, but yes. And PK, if you're out there, serious and silly, we're waiting for you. So, like I said,
I'm not going to wear a bathing suit. I'm not going to wear a bathing suit for my next TikTok. That's not going to happen.
I remember that Instagram. So, yeah, we were joking a little bit, but it has been 28 years since the Canadians won the Stanley Cup, 27 going on 28. We've made a conference final, and we really got to see like how the city lights up. So just to give a little preview, you guys go down 2-0 to the Nordiques in the first round. You come back, amazing series, the Battle of Quebec. The city is going crazy. You make it to the Stanley Cup Finals. You're playing against the LA Kings, Wayne Gretzky, one of the greatest players of all time, if not the greatest. Your brother's team, he also played for the LA Kings. What is the city like during Stanley Cup playoffs?
It's amazing. And I'm going to track back a little bit, Sheila, because also during our team in 93 and our 92-93 season, let's the student know that we had, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we had 10 English players and 11 French players. So let's not forget that during this epic of hockey, we didn't have enough, we didn't have no European and a few Americans, but it's beside the point that regardless, our conversations in the dressing room during the coaching hours were English. So we would have a couple of French players that would just came out that, even if it was south of Quebec, Port-au-Basque or whatever, their English was not that good either, but they would have to catch up also in the dressing room to figure out what this coach is saying or whatnot. And the camaraderie was so well that even if the French guys didn't quite understand, we would just translate, right? And for myself, since I was bilingual, I would hang out with either side of the group. The English guy, who's going out for dinner tonight, I would just pick either side. But it was normal for the French guys to go hang out with the French guys for supper, and then the English guys separate ways. But at the end of the day, we'd be in the same dressing room, game time, and ready to go play. And then we would just play hockey together. The language, no matter what you speak, you'd have to go out there and play hockey. But in 93, during the Stanley Cup, and the time I was there, Scott, I can tell you that, at 21 years of age and trying to go out for supper somewhere, and the reservations are booked, and my wife and I just pops in out of the blue, and the maitre d' pops up and realizes who I am and says, "Just hang on, we'll get you an open table." And I say, no, I'm not here to use my name and or the jersey, the Montreal Canadiens, but they found a way to do it. And just the fans around the restaurant itself just trying to get up and want an autograph of myself. I'm like, are you kidding me? I had to sign like a wine bottle or a napkin or whatever. It was so much fun. I enjoyed it. They gave you the key. Like the Montreal was so amazing and still so amazing. One of the best team and city fan supporters. They are very hard when you're struggling. They will let you know through the media, through the newspaper, in the mall, and in the taxi cab, in the sidewalk. I've lived it. And then when you do well, they give you whatever you want and what you would like to say. It was the best summer I've had winning the cup in '93, especially Montreal, and really enjoyed my time there. I lived in Kirkland, West Island, because it was close to the airport and the English community. But at the end of the day, it was a fantastic time of my life, and I still do go visit Montreal a lot and go watch some hockey games.
Can you believe, as a 22-year-old, not rookie, I think it was your second year, but you were playing against Wayne Gretzky in the Stanley Cup final. What was that like when you first line up against probably the greatest player of all time?
It was fantastic. And let's not forget, Marcel obviously was the ambassador of the LA Kings at that time, and he came to the game. And having Wayne Gretzky as the opposite on the opposition team, the man winning 4 Stanley Cups in Edmonton, breaking all those rules and all the points he's had was very intimidating. But we had a plan. We had a focus on each other, and each line had to focus on do their job. And I can tell you that myself, when I had Wayne Gretzky on the ice, I was told to get off the ice because I wasn't going to make it, and it was a guaranteed goal from him. So it was fantastic, but very, very well known hockey player, and especially winning the cup against LA Kings, which Marcel played for many years and never won the cup, was fantastic. But my brother was fortunate enough that I invited him to the game, and he was in the stands and enjoying every minute of it, that we accomplished something as a family.
I'm going to ask Sheila to put a picture up, and you're being modest. You had a great playoff, 6 goals and 6 assists, 12 points. You guys won 10 overtime games in a row. And this is the picture of you guys celebrating. And when you see this picture, Mr. Dionne, what do you think of? What memories come to your head?
It's fantastic. I see myself in the background right there. We always showed some respect who's coming towards near the cup. As you can tell, some of the veterans like Carbonneau, Roy, that have won it before, they're just going like, okay, that's just another cup. Let's just enjoy it. But it's an excitement. I not at this point, but we were so exhausted. We lost about on average 8 to 10 pounds during the playoffs. We went through about 11 overtimes, and we won 10 in a row. And fantastic. I had to give credit to Dr. Mulder, that's still there with the Montreal Canadiens, and all the staff, the doctor staff, our trainers during those years, that you know what? You don't have much time to recoup. You have a day or two. How sore are you? And you just suck it up, right? Either if you take a needle, you put some ice and heat and so forth. But at that time, when I grabbed that cup during that time I had to on the ice, I almost dropped it. I was so exhausted and felt like we've reached it. It's real. This is 35-pound cup over your shoulders, and the exhaustion hit it. But it's fantastic feelings. And I can name each and every individual player right now till this day, and even the healthy scratch guys that were there, where everybody was part of it, and it was a fantastic year for me.
Just looking at the picture quickly, I think you had the best beard on the team.
Yes. So what happened is me and JJ Daniel decided, and I want to experience it, right? It's called a playoff beard or whatever you had to do. Your last game of the season, win or not, you shave and then you start your playoff. And we were 2-8 at that time, the last month of the series of the season. So we weren't going too good. So we shaved our beard and started fresh in Quebec, and kept it on, and till the end. It was fantastic. I never had to trim it or anything like that. I got time, so I enjoyed to do that.
All right. So we're getting near the end. Sadly, I could talk to you forever. The
Sure.
93 team was my team. That's the team I remember. If you ask me which sports team is the #1 team in my mind right now, it's the 93 team, no doubt. But we're going to play a little game, Mr. Dionne, and
Yes.
it's a little game. It's called the secret game.
Okay.
Great game.
So you're, like we said, you were born in Drummondville. You now live in Northern Ontario. And it's a little game we like to call We or No.
Okay. We don't know.
So we are going to give you 5 scenarios, and you can answer to us we or no.
Okay.
So
Sheila will start us off.
very simple game. So you have 5 kids. So is it true that you had 5 kids in order to create, to make your own hockey team? We or no?
We.
And your wife agreed to this?
No.
Follow up, good.
Are you on that team? Do you get to play?
We.
Okay, good. Thank you. All right, here is a serious question. The 93 team in their prime against the 2021 team in their prime. Who wins a 7-game series?
We. 93 does. 93.
I think I
For
asked
sure.
it wrong, but I meant this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, am I doing it right?
Yes.
You're right. Yes. So the next question is, did you ever get into an NHL fight?
Yes, we have. We.
Okay. Did you
Tell us about that. I don't remember that.
There's a few. I have about half a dozen. You
Okay.
can go on Google. You get Glenn Featherstone. I get a few in the Quebec Nordiques. But at the end of the day, you win or you don't win. You just stand up for yourself. So you can go and Google my name. And I stood tall for a few of the fights. But tell you what, that was not my forte. But I had to do what I had to do.
Wow.
This might be our most controversial question. You played for the Philadelphia Flyers and the Montreal Canadiens. Is the Philly cheesesteak better than the Montreal poutine?
Oh, I gotta go with pretend. I'm sorry, Montreal poutine by far. Yes, I'm sorry.
Amazing. You're welcome back on Serious and Silly anytime.
Oh, and I forgot. This is the most controversial because you now live in Northern Ontario, and I see the Leafs fans chirping at you. Are the Leafs fans the whiniest of all sports teams?
We. Yeah, actually, you know what? It's just they want it so bad. And I watch the Leafs here. I'm a big hockey fan. People have to understand, I don't want to keep it too long, but I like watching hockey. I have to go back there, watch Ottawa Senators, Toronto right now, and I like to analyze things. It's almost a Don Cherry type. Like, I love hockey. I'm a big Habs, like always. I cheer for my Habs, cheer for the Flyers, for the Panthers, because I play for them and an alumni. But you know what? I need to watch what's out there. And I do wish the Leafs will win a Stanley Cup someday. They have the right product. They're spending a lot of money. They're, over $1 billion. That's the team of the NHL. They're trying everything they can, but sometimes there's just a few things missing. But to all the Leafs fan out there, just be patient. Let's hope this is going to be your year and your time. But the Montreal Canadiens are very close, first or second right now. So they'll be very interesting.
Sheila, we say we don't edit, but we'll edit that Leafs Stanley Cup part
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, we're just gonna wrap up. You have been absolutely amazing. It's literally been such a pleasure having you with us today. So, I mean, as everybody can see today, you're not just a fantastic athlete. Oh, look at that!
Maybe the lights too bright. I don't know.
No, we can see it. It's amazing.
It's so shiny.
It is. So it's very heavy, and we get each players get to have their name on the side and the logo, their jersey, and so forth. So
Number
each
45.
each players get to have one of these, and coaching staff and the doctors. So there's about, and this is to all the kids out there, whoever's listening. It's custom made as per the team. So, if this year the Leafs win, they will custom made their own ring. So in '93, we've obviously asked former players like Jean Beliveau, Guy Lafleur, some of the ambassador, what should we kind of design we should have and the size of it, and winning 24 cups. We're not listening to the guys that won 10, 12 in a row, Yvan Cournoyer and stuff like that. So they have designed us this, and I get to wear it once in a while and show it off, and very proud to wear it.
It's amazing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, so honest, that's amazing. Thank you so much for showing that. Wow.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Sheila.
So I wanted to say that, you're not just obviously you guys can see that Gilbert is super humble, such a nice, transparent guy, an amazing athlete. I'm sure you're a wonderful father, but you also are active in promoting and sending awareness to different types of organizations, and specifically for this organization, it's for the Breast Cancer Association. So I wanted to kind of touch base a little bit about that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. So I work for a Durham artificial grass company, and we do install artificial turf for commercial, residential. And during the fall, sometimes, obviously, we cannot do installs because of the weather inclement. And we teamed up with a de-icing company, which is a salt company here in Burlington, that thought that if we're going to promote something for to help awareness, we teamed up for breast cancer. And the company with the icing company just started to obviously put some coloring into the salt itself, which turns pink. And the design of the bag obviously shows to help a local family in need through breast cancer. So these bags cost $20, and some of the funds going towards a family in need in a local area. So it's been going very well. I'm selling it by the skids. by the bag or whatever. And it's been slowly through my Facebook page, Instagram, and so forth. I'm having so much fun. And fortunately and unfortunately, someone buys a bag for some reason. They need 10, 15 minutes because of confinement. They haven't talked to or seen anybody. I sit there and have a nice chat with them, regardless if it's about hockey or whatnot. It's worth the time. It's worth the money, and the funds going to someone that hopefully in the spring we'll find out it's going to someone in need. But once again, breast cancer, it can hit anyone at a younger age, from 20 to 80 years old, Sheila. So to all these women out there, please go get checked, and hope everything will go well. But I'm very excited to be part of that, and it's been a very, very awesome journey.
So I'm gonna tag some of that information on the YouTube clip after.
So sorry, Sheila, I'm gonna cut you off because I have so many friends across Canada and United States. They have did reach me and say, I like to buy a bag, I like to buy 5 bags and re-gift. So what we've done, I'm sorry, I forgot to say that.
No, go ahead.
I have people from New York to Florida to all over the world says, Gilbert, you know what? I'm going to e-transfer you $20, $30. Can you re-gift anywhere local? And what I've done is I do send these bags to help local restaurants, help local shelters, and obviously your frontline workers, doctors, whatever. I say, you know what? This is something in regard, you get a free bag donated through charity, and it's been doing well. So I'm just saying, you know, you don't really have to hold a bag to re-gift. It's just something to send out to me, and I will look after it. And I take pictures with the companies and so forth. And it's been a great journey. It's a lot of fun, actually. But yet, once again, it's a touching. My mother-in-law just got diagnosed in the Christmas and went through her surgery, so it's a little bit personal. But you know, at the end of the day, it's about the money and raising. And sometimes forget about COVID. There's other cancers out there. COVID's been taking a lot of space, but cancer doesn't take a day off either. So that's why I jumped into this journey. So thank you so much.
My heart goes out to her, and I wish her, we wish her really health and happiness and support and everything.
Thank you.
I'm going to include all that information in the YouTube link. We post this show on Tuesdays on our Champlain Saint-Lambert YouTube page. So if you want to follow us, please go ahead and do that. But honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure having you with us today. You are an inspiration to our students, definitely to Scott, because I think he's a little bit
It's been a pleasure. 93 team, man.
En passant, je veux dire à tous les étudiants de garder un bon spirit spirituel et puis de passer des bonnes études. OK, on se donne tout un bon plaisir à suivre à toutes les écoles et puis de graduer ensemble, de s'aider, de s'aimer. Et puis, on va passer des temps difficiles, mais ça va venir un bon soleil at the end of the tunnel. Alors, je vous souhaite toute bonne chance.
Oh my gosh, the perfect words to end. Thank you so much.
Okay, sounds good. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
What a great session we had with Gilbert Dionne, Sheila. I just want to take 30 seconds here. As many of you know, my dad passed away about 2 weeks ago, and it's been a really hard time, but he was a lifelong Habs fan. And when I told him we were going to have Gilbert Dionne on, he was really excited to see it. So I just wanted to share a quick Canadian story about my dad. One time he was watching a game at the Old Forum, and my dad was very like me, you know, laid back, didn't really much bother him. But when he was watching the Canadians, he was extremely passionate. And he was standing up and swearing, and the guy behind him kept telling him, sir, calm down. You don't need to yell at the players. They're trying their best. And, you know, he'd get up and start swearing, and sir. So finally, the Leafs went up a couple goals, and it was the first period, and my dad just wasn't having it. So he stood up, and he was yelling at the goalie, swearing. And the guy's like, sir, and he touches up my dad on the shoulder, and my dad turns around, as my dad says, thinking about slugging him, and he sees a black shirt and a white collar. And it was a local priest telling my dad to calm down. So my dad basically apologized and sat down and watched the rest of the game. And it was probably the quietest second and third period of his life. But that's my story. And Dad, this one was dedicated to you.
Love you, Scotty.